I'm going to teach a new software. I'll tell you why I'm going to teach a new software and everything. Before that, before we go there, I think we already discussed about a few things such as there are familiar softwares in the industry, so such as Redshift. Go away. Yeah, look at this one. So this is a Redshift render engine. This is a render engine where look at that. Most of these days architectural and feature films they are making with this Redshift. Okay, look at the quality there. So usually I love Redshift these days because the amount of quality that this Redshift produce is much higher than what Arnold is producing. Okay, so the industry is shifting towards Redshift. Okay, so this is one render engine. You can see their demos or other things in any of the online things you could see that. Okay, Redshift. This is one render engine. I can just go back to Redshift and yeah, look at the qualities here. So this Redshift, it's really good. It's a good one. Then the other famous render engine was that you could see that Octane. It's also another famous render engine. Then we have what is that? We have V-Ray. We have V-Ray render engine. It's usually produce an awesome output. V-Ray. Okay, V-Ray always produce an awesome output. This is a Redshift, and look at the Redshift outputs. They're always stunning outputs there. Redshift. I really like that. Then we have Octane. This is Octane. Then we have V-Ray. Look at the quality there it produces. Similarly, there are many other render engines we have, such as Redshift, Octane, V-Ray. Then what else we have? We have Mental Ray, but it's not that good these days because it's slow. Okay. And similarly, we have other renders like Keyshot. Okay. So there are very famous render engines like that. I would put V-Ray there, then Octane. There are also other render engines. And we are now learning Arnold because that's mostly and faster. But the battery is Redshift, and the next to the best output is V-Ray. So these are things the industry is using normally these days. Okay, and apart from that, I used Octane, but I'm not a big fan of Octane, but it's fine. So now I would like to teach you Keyshot. The reason why I pick Keyshot is because it's much faster and it is a global illumination technology. Okay, so you don't need to put the lights and ready for the product to be get lighted. So that's the main reason why I like Keyshot. Okay, it's much faster than V-Ray, but you can produce a similar kind of output. V-Ray, you can't compete with V-Ray and Redshift. That's something big one. Then why Keyshift? For ready-made product lighting, we could use Keyshot. I personally recommend this. If you ask me, sir, can we use this for our assignments in J component? Yes, you can use this for your J component. Okay, and why? And this is third party. It's not comes. It doesn't comes with Maya. Like Arnold it comes with Maya, but Keyshot doesn't comes with Maya. So I shared the installation files with you and also how to install it. Then why, sir, can I use this in industry? See, there is a big thing there. Keyshot is a global illumination setup. So whatever the product you put, it just illuminates it just like a dome light. Okay, but much faster and much better. Keyshot would do. So, but when it comes to lighting a cinematographic, a CG element like in movies and feature films, then obviously you need a key light fill light and backlight, rim light, all those things. So we need all those lights. So you can achieve that cinematic lighting only by using Arnold or Redshift or mental ray. Okay, V-Ray is also a kind of a global illumination thing. So that's the reason I'm teaching a Keyshot. And the second point is this is just for your extra knowledge. Okay, just for an extra knowledge. I won't be asking any question in it. There won't be any assignments on it. There won't be any test in it. Okay, it's just for extra knowledge, just to add one more software with your portfolio. Okay, and learning time is too easy. Learning time is just 1 hour. That's it. You don't need too much of time for this. And it's the most important thing is ready to render. That's it. You just put your 3D model there, click, that's it. You don't need to put your light, you don't need to bring a dome light, you don't need to put a map around you. So those are some of the things that you may not need. And you are kind of a person who don't work right from the beginning. Okay, we usually work at the end of our deadlines. So when it comes to deadlines, then I think you need some render engine in your pocket that could do the work within a minutes of time. Okay, so that's the reason why we're going for this. And you guys have any questions on like this? Like, you guys have any questions on or any other things like why to learn Keyshot or anything like that? So please ask me. In the meanwhile, I can go to the class. I'll just make some simple model. Okay, then we go to the class there. So. Okay. All cube. I'm not happy with this. Maybe go with a table. No, I think I go with something on my own. Or I can tell you this, I go with my poly modeling, I take a cylinder, then I go to the sections, I increase subdivision sections to maybe 50, then subdivision height, this be the radius will be bigger. Great. Actually go to the edges. Let me select all the edges here. I take my selection tool, I select all the edges here, and I hold the Control Shift, select all the edges. Double click and select all the edges here. I can shift right click, I go to the bevel edge options, and the segment is 0.5. I think I can go with 0.2, and the segments can be 3. The bevel, great. Double click, control right click to edges to edge flow. Continuous edges, yes, it's done. And then I press G. So I should right click a bit of bevel edge options 0.23 and bevel. I think I will get that. Anyway, let me double click here. I press D here, G. From here. Let me adjust. Okay. Then let me just put my top view again. Let me take a cylinder, put that there. Press R. Go here. What is the divisions we gave? It's of 50, and I think that works. Little. D. Duplicate this. It's a little bigger. Top view. Wireframe unshaded. Or do something like this. And this, and should select that. Like I go to my, it's all done. I could just put this there. Press R. If I select this one, I go to my maybe I get to check right here. I can find that. Yeah, there is one bad thing which I don't like with mine is they often change everything. Control D, the x-axis. They just move it there. All move it up. And I should go to my shelf. I should delete my history. Something more here. Did I do edit? Delete all by type, no history, even non-deformable history. God, it's really killing me. Okay, I'll handle them later. So this is fine. The next thing I need is maybe create one cylinder again. So cylinder, I bring it here, the same sections, subdivision be 50 and radius be a little, fine. Let me just break this, do it like this. And let me just shift right click a multi-cut. I use my multi-cut there, and then I use my offset loop. Great. Like no, go with my R, so I can just shift. Great. Then I select. Let me just select the stop faces. So try to select them. Select all, select only the bottom. Then here I want this. Happening. I hit that, but it's not happening. The problem here is the edge, whatever I did here, it was not working perfect. So maybe I can go with a little shift. Then I press R, I scale that. So that we might find. Then I come down here, I press select, then I move it there. Get it up. And I hold my shift, I push it inwards. With that being selected, let me just save the file. So select this, right click, double edge, select this, G, 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 G. I can have another cylinder. Yeah, I think I had done some mistake there with this. And the subdivision axis has to be 30 or usually no one would do that. So this was cigarette butts, and this is your I don't need to work, tell you what I'm doing with in terms of modeling, right? So since it's not a modeling class, I'm not telling you what I'm doing here. Yes, sorry, unless I would have to tell you what I'm doing here. So don't mistake me for that. And for some reason, I have some few problems there. So maybe I can just select them all. I can go to my mesh display. I can just confirm, or I can just mesh display, reverse them. Then again, I could reverse them, set to face. Every problems there. Maybe I can just smooth it out. That's fine now. Just take this to the table there. And So I have it's fine. I can just put another one, topple it down on, let be minus 90 and deliver it a little bit. Let this be on the table there and push it in the y-axis. It's done. So of course, you can have a bottle, or you can put a water can, or anything you want. So these are things. Now, please listen, guys. Listen now. I'll just save the file. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a plane. Listen from here. I'm going to create a plane. That plane, I just brought it up above the. Yeah, I just bring it above the object. Now, let me increase the plane here. The plane section has only subdivision of 10 by 10. Yeah, you see that? So 10 by 10, let me just go with 100 by 100. So give 100 by 100, and let me just scale that. Let's not scale it up too much. Scale it up to a level. So it should be little extra from all the four sides. And I think it would just move it out. Now, watch carefully. Select this one, name this as clock. Okay. And this one is my table. And this one is the stand. Stand on the left side. So this one is the stand on the right side. And here I have the glass. It's not actually a glass. You say that it's different. It's a tumbler. Then I have a cigarette tray. Okay, so I just think that's a tray. Then here are my cigarette butts. You just name the same name. Maya would fill it with I named it as Buddhas. Okay, fine, whatever. That is fine. And this area, in this area, I can just I want to extract this as a separate shape, so I can apply on it. Maybe I can just right click, select the face, then let me go with the extract faces, separate extract faces. That's it. This is a separate face. Okay. And similarly here, the bottom one I can separate, shift right click, I can just extract. Now the bottom is also a separate shape there. So this is my table bottom. And this is my table glass. If that is glass, then this is a cup. And this is also a cup. See, it renames cup one. You don't need to type cup one there. Okay, my scene is ready now. Let's go there. Let's save the scene. Now this is the clock. Okay, now after this, listen carefully. I'll be doing just two steps. Number one, go to FX. Okay, select this cloth. Go to N cloth there. Under FX, there is an N cloth. Go here and choose create N cloth. That's it. Just select this plane, create N cloth. Done. Now the second one, select these objects. Now go to N cloth. Give create passive collider. That's it. You select the cloth, give N cloth. Now select this object, give create passive collider. It's done. Just two things we did. Now what is next? Now go to your animation preferences. Go to your animation preference at the bottom, right bottom, click, and set your time slider. Time slider by default, it is check whether it is play every frame. Just scroll under time slider. You should see the playback as play every frame. It should not be 25 frames. It should be play every frame. It is already play every frame, so I don't have a problem. I just hit save. Now the time frame shows it's only 200 frames are there. I would like to bring 500 frames, 500, enter. Okay, just hit 500 in the inside. Okay, the outside, even if you give 500 on the outside range, and if you give 100 here, then you could see only 100 range. Maya can show you only 100 ranges. So I want 500 frames, and I want all the 500 frames to be visible in my timeline, not just 100. So I gave 500 here also. Now, with this being done, just save the file and play. Tick, 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 tick. Yes, you can reduce the polygon count from 100 to 50 also if your system can't handle it. Look at that. Oh my God. You see that? That is good. Yeah. Yep. So for some reason, if you feel that you don't want this, it is heavy for you, then you can select and you can reduce this into 50. But I don't recommend you to do this after end clock. After you apply end cloth, don't do that. That would really spoil the shape. Okay, you should have done it before you apply end cloth. Okay, so 100 is too much. Maybe I can select this and delete everything. Okay, then I can create again with a less polygon count. Then I could do it. So don't worry about it. Let's create another polygon and reduce that. Now I just move this little away from the table. Yeah, little away from the table like this. And see what happens. That, yeah, that's really a good effect, right? So, but I don't want this edges. I don't want this space. So maybe I should go about. Let me check. Can I scale this? This now. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it is working. Yeah, scaling. Because I don't want too much on the ground. So I'm just waiting to stop this simulation. We don't call this animation, it's simulation. Okay, stop this here. Look at that. That's a plot effect, right? That's very cool. Maybe I would do a little extra on the dice. Now play this again. Because I'm doing nothing. I just select the clock. I gave create end clock. Then I select the objects on which it has to collide. Then I gave passive colliders. That's it. Look at that. Doing fine. Then I stop here and I stop it. Look at that. Okay. Now the same, but this time I'm going to rotate it a little bit to create some artistic effects, maybe like this. And I could just play. Let's see how the simulation works. It's simulation, guys. It's not animation. I just stop with that. So if you want, you can play it further, or you can just leave it after this. Okay. So with shoulders, maybe I can just play it a little. Look at that. So this is the kind of effect we created with the help of this. Okay. I just want you guys to know that how did you create this? We just selected the cloth, go to end cloth, create end cloth. Select the objects, go to end cloth, create passive dots. That's it. It's all done. Now I select this object. Now we are in frame number 142. If I go back to the first frame, this will go back to the add. I don't want this to be add. I want this object to stay here in this shape from the first frame. I repeat again, I don't want this object to go back to the air in the first frame. So when I just go back to the first frame, now I'm in 142. If I go back to first frame, the object will be on the air back. So I don't want it to happen. I want this object to be in this position as a first frame. So with this object selected, with this current frame, I'm going to field solvers menu. I'm going to get set initial state set for selector. When I give this, the cloth will be like this forever. And if you don't want, if you feel like this doesn't look like a cloth, you can select this all time, and you can go to your channel box. Let's say cloth shape. There you can see the friction. The friction is 0.1. If you increase the friction to 0.5, I think I can go to 0.5. Really? Oh, the friction is the maximum is 0.1. Then maybe 0.05. Oh, that's wrong there. And maybe I can just bounce friction. Can I increase the friction there? Yeah, the friction can go from 0 to 1. So yeah, I gave friction 0.6 now. Let's play this. Let's see what the friction is going to do. Before it was 0.1 and now we gave 0.6 friction. So if the friction is high, it will behave mostly like a real cloth. Look at that. Okay, this is fine.